This Diddy trial has officially taken a dramatic turn, shedding any semblance of civility and delivering shocking blows no one anticipated. What began as Cassie's chilling account has erupted into a much larger scandal, one that even the most salacious gossip blogs couldn't have foreseen. This isn't just another celebrity controversy. Federal courtrooms are now echoing with previously unheard audio, whispered allegations are being brought to light, and decades-old footage is pulling major Hollywood figures into the spotlight. The internet is ablaze, rumors are flying on the streets, and those involved are likely reconsidering every decision that led them here. In a major shift, after weeks of the prosecution outlining Cassie's disturbing experiences, including alleged abuse, extreme control, and those notorious freak-offs, attention has zeroed in on audio recordings. But these aren't simple voice notes. These are reportedly raw and explicit recordings allegedly featuring Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill. This isn't a fleeting social media rumor. These tapes are said to be playing in open court, stunning everyone present. It all started with a silent hotel lobby video released days ago. Most assumed that was all there was. But now, insiders claim the real audio, played privately in court, left the room frozen. No phones were allowed, journalists couldn't record, and the silence was described as heavy. One witness said the recording was graphic, male on male, and intense enough to stop the courtroom cold. It was clear something significant had been heard. Just when it seemed the revelations couldn't get more intense, a new witness list surfaced. These aren't random attention seekers. They're former bad boy artists and staff, people who partied with Diddy, traveled with him, and stayed inside his world. They reportedly witnessed things firsthand, and under legal protection, many are now ready to speak. Among them is Dawn Richards, known from the group Donity Kane. After testifying, she was seen visibly shaken outside the courthouse, surrounded by paparazzi. Her testimony reportedly backed Cassie's claims and added more disturbing details. Dawn stated that after witnessing Diddy assault Cassie, he came into a room the next day and threatened both her and a fellow bandmate. According to court documents, he allegedly told them, "Don't say anything. What y'all saw up there was passion." She claimed he warned that people who speak about him end up missing. This isn't speculation, it's allegedly recorded in the court transcripts. Then there's Diddy's daughter. Her somber exit from the courtroom spoke volumes. No expression, no words, just a pale and haunted face. Even the paparazzi held back. Sources say this reaction followed the audio playback, suggesting the contents may have been deeply unsettling. The consequences of this trial now extend beyond criminal charges. It's about dismantled reputations, a collapsing family legacy, and a web of secrets possibly involving some of the entertainment industry's biggest names. Will Smith's name wasn't just mentioned in passing, it's reportedly tied directly to that audio. The moment this connection made headlines, the internet erupted. Old interviews, clips, and awkward exchanges between Diddy and Will were pulled apart in a new and uncomfortable context. One clip that resurfaced showed comedian Lunel joking about Diddy and Will being intimate. The casual comment was mostly ignored at the time, but this time it exploded online, spawning countless memes and rampant speculation. Things took a darker turn as fans began revisiting older moments between Will and his son Jaden, like affectionate kisses and playful behavior. What once seemed like sweet, quirky father-son interactions now appeared unsettling to some viewers, sparking discomfort and concern across social media. The tone has shifted, from playful curiosity to serious unease. Everything shifted when brother Bilal, once Will Smith's personal assistant, made explosive allegations that were hard to dismiss as just rumors. He claimed he had witnessed Will in intimate situations with another man, even providing graphic details of one encounter. But the most startling part came when Bilal recounted walking in on Will and actor Dwayne Martin in a compromising position. He described looking for Will around the studio, checking his dressing room and the cafeteria, then, seeing Will's car still outside, he opened the door to Dwayne's room. That's when he claimed to see Dwayne engaging in anal sex with Will, who was bent over a couch, while Dwayne stood behind him. Those were Bilal's exact words. Once Bilal shared that revelation, the internet erupted. Social media turned into a virtual investigation unit. People weren't waiting for official news. They started pulling up every old clip, photo, and interview that showed Will and Diddy together, laughing, hugging, or standing closely. These resurfaced moments clashed with the image Will had built over the years. Will responded with a strong denial, saying, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." But the denial backfired. Immediately, Twitter and Reddit filled up with videos and images proving otherwise, scenes of him and Diddy at parties, award shows, and casual hangouts. The proof was overwhelming, and fans felt not just skeptical but lied to. Then, Meek Mill found himself dragged further into the spotlight. His name reportedly came up during courtroom playback of tapes that were described as explicit. When the news broke, chaos followed. Unlike Will, who tried to keep his response measured, Meek went into full panic mode online. His Twitter timeline turned into a flood of defensive posts. The more he spoke, the more people became suspicious. Meek's connection to Diddy had already been the subject of online jokes for years, people calling him Diddy's intern or using other mocking nicknames. At the time, it seemed like internet humor. But now, those jokes are being revisited with fresh eyes, as if they were early signs of something bigger. More evidence involving Meek also resurfaced. One viral clip showed him at a party with billionaire Michael Rubin, acting unusually awkward, almost like a nervous kid. Viewers pointed out how uneasy he looked, and in the background, someone could be heard laughing and possibly mocking him. Then came a video of Diddy hosting Meek's birthday party. It looked typical at first, until you noticed the poolside was filled with shirtless men, and Diddy affectionately called Meek Daddy on camera, saying things like, "Proud of you. I love you. I appreciate life, Daddy." That moment went viral fast. Anytime Meek posted something trying to appear tough, people threw that video right back at him. The word daddy became an online meme. When Meek tried to push back, tweeting, "I'm not fruity. Stop playing with me," people only responded with more old clips, tweets, and pictures showing him being unusually close to Diddy. What's keeping the internet so locked in on this story is the mysterious courtroom audio. Despite all the claims about how explicit and graphic it is, not a single second has leaked. No recordings, no still images, not even a vague soundbite, just second-hand summaries from those who were there. That total silence is what's making the situation even more intense. Everyone's heard how shocking it's supposed to be, but no one outside the courtroom has actually experienced it, which makes the whole thing feel even more eerie and unresolved. An insider claimed that a disturbing audio recording allegedly captured a man being assaulted while Diddy could be heard laughing in the background. That's the level of unsettling details circulating quietly. A brief rumor even surfaced online, quickly debunked by most, suggesting a recording existed of Meek and Diddy in an intimate situation. Whether that rumor had any truth or was just attention-seeking is unclear, but the fact it even gained attention reflects the intense speculation around the case. Authorities have yet to release any concrete evidence, and that silence is only fueling public suspicion. In the U.S. legal system, withholding key evidence in a criminal trial without a compelling reason is rare, which makes the lack of disclosure even more concerning. Journalists are already digging deep, asking why, if the audio is as critical and incriminating as sources claim, it's being kept from the public. Why isn't a system that claims to prioritize transparency allowing people to hear what might play a role in someone's conviction? This silence feels intentional and heavy. Some suggest it's about safeguarding the identities or dignity of those involved, which may seem logical. But others suspect the material is too explosive, implicating too many high-profile individuals, and that there's powerful protection happening behind the scenes. If the recording ever comes to light, it could do more than tarnish reputations. It might collapse careers, derail major business deals, spark numerous lawsuits, and expose individuals not yet publicly named. That's the most alarming part. If Diddy, Will, and Meek are only the beginning, who else is caught in this dangerous web? As outrageous as the names and claims sound, what's even more disturbing is the deafening quiet. In today's digital age, leaks are common, whether from cloud hacks, court records, or even courtroom audio, yet nothing from the alleged Diddy tapes has appeared. No clips, no leaks, no screenshots. This kind of silence is loud in its own right, leading many to ask a pressing question: who's protecting this? That question alone has opened a new wave of speculation and concern. It's becoming clear that this case has moved far beyond just Diddy and Cassie. It seems to be exposing a broader system, a hidden culture rooted deep within fame and wealth, one that may have operated unchallenged for years. Only now, under federal scrutiny and with survivors and insiders finding some sense of safety, are the secrets starting to surface. We're watching a public fall from grace for someone who was once a powerful, untouchable figure. Diddy wasn't just a successful music executive, he was embedded in hip-hop, television, fashion, and popular culture. He built the bad boy for life persona, hosted extravagant parties, launched political campaigns, and built friendships with billionaires. Now, that carefully maintained image is collapsing before our eyes. Many are now reflecting and realizing the signs might have always been there. In retrospect, some of the warnings were apparent, from his rumored controlling behavior toward artists to his strange, pause-heavy interviews that felt like he was both joking and concealing something. Numerous artists who parted ways with Bad Boy seemed to suffer, fading into obscurity or leaving damaged reputations behind. Maze, The Lox, Day 26. The list is long. Aubrey O'Day had been sounding the alarm for years, and it seems the legal system is finally paying attention, even if the public once ignored her warnings. Dawn Richards' testimony added even more weight to the allegations, painting Diddy not as merely difficult, but as predatory. Her confirmation of Cassie's claims in a legal setting could be a critical and damaging development. But Diddy isn't the only one feeling the impact. Will Smith's image, still recovering from the infamous Oscars slap, is taking another hit. Those who supported him during that controversy are now reconsidering, especially if the rumors about the tapes and his involvement are true. This wouldn't just be a PR crisis, it could end his career. Meanwhile, Meek Mill has already been tried and convicted in the court of public opinion, as online sentiment turns sharply against him. He hasn't been formally charged with anything, yet his panicked and defensive posts online, the kind that say "y'all trying to ruin me," only add fuel to the growing suspicion. That's the harsh truth of our digital era. Once someone's name becomes tied to something this dark, even legal innocence might not be enough. Public perception can be lost long before the courts weigh in. Meanwhile, official sources remain silent. There's no explanation for why the tapes haven't been released, nor any confirmation beyond vague leaked summaries. This silence only deepens speculation. Perhaps the people featured in those tapes hold significant power. Maybe they're connected to hidden systems of influence. Or it could be that the government is carefully navigating a politically dangerous situation, wary of the potential consequences of full disclosure. And so, we find ourselves stuck in an unsettling kind of limbo. Legal actions continue, the internet keeps digging for any detail, and those allegedly involved go about their lives as if nothing is wrong. But that can't last forever. Stories like this don't just vanish, not in the age of digital memory and endless sharing. When people believe the truth is being hidden, their drive to uncover it only grows stronger. If these tapes are ever made public, the consequences could be explosive, not only for what Diddy is accused of, but for the identities of others who might have been present. The polished surface of Hollywood's elite circles is starting to peel back, and what may lie underneath could be more disturbing than anyone expected. This is one story we'll be watching very closely.